Kylie. Come on in and have a seat.
So, Ms. Curtis,
All
nice
right.
to see you again. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I'm glad you're here.
Thanks.
So how's everything going since the last time I talked with you?
Everything's going well.
Okay.
I mean, I can't complain. It can be a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm better than I was the last time I saw you, but
Okay.
I can always be much better because I don't have my children back yet. And so until I get my babies back home with me,
Mm-hmm.
then I won't be where I want to be.
Okay. So you're expressing to me that you're better than you were the last time I talked with you because of you've been going through treatment and everything.
Yes, ma'am.
But you feel like everything would be best if your children were back with you.
Definitely.
Okay. All
You know,
right.
not being able to tuck them in at night, wake them up, not being able to cook for them. I mean, I know they're being taken care of because I get to see them once a week.
Okay.
And, you know, monitor visitation at that. But, so, that's good because I can see them. But it's always hard to leave them and the family that they're with.
Okay.
You know, seem like a good family. They take them to church, you know. My oldest two, the twins,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they're 10 years old. They're in sports.
Okay.
So, and the youngest, my baby, she looks like she's coping, you know, with the family. But it's just the factor of not knowing they're not with me.
Okay.
So that's the only thing. But you know, I'm thankful because I know I really feel like they're okay. But I mean, any parent would not feel 100% okay knowing that their children are not with them at night. You know? Okay. So that's just my point.
Right. Okay. So you feel like they're with a good family.
Mm-hmm.
But you just would prefer if, you know, they were underneath the same roof as you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So tell me more about your treatments.
Well, it's going well. It's going much better now because you know, in the beginning I told you how in our last meeting I was telling you about I was afraid about the withdrawals, and that was one of the main reasons why in the past I didn't go ahead and do the professional rehab, and I was trying to break the habit myself. Okay. Because I was afraid of the withdrawals. Okay. And though I did have the withdrawals, it wasn't as bad as I had been told. Okay. I mean, it was tough. Don't get me wrong. I will tell anybody don't do drugs. Don't even start it because it's hard to get off. Okay. So have you ever experienced withdrawals, or you just? It sounds like you're telling me that someone else told you this information, but you never experienced it? I have, but not to the level where I was told that it pretty much feels like you're dying. Okay. And I guess that it helps. It helped because I had the clinical treatment. Okay. You know, I had the help of the professionals there to help me go through the withdrawals. So, you've tried to get off drugs before? Have you went through an agency or another program? No, before this time, prior to this time, I tried to just kick it myself, and I would do good. There was times, you know, I would go a couple weeks without having any relapse or even the urges to want to, you know, go that route. And then maybe I would have a bad day. I can get into an argument with my boyfriend or something like that, and then, or I can have a bad day, whatever. Any little thing could set me off, and then the first thing I'm going back to, I'll find myself, you know, it may start with smoking some marijuana. Okay. And then next thing you know, I'm like, okay, one little hit won't hurt, so. And that's kind of how I would break it, and you know, for a couple weeks, and then I would find myself going right back down into that down on that road where I would just spiral out of control. So this was my first time trying to get professional help that I actually went through with it.
Professional help. Okay. So it sounded like you saying you tried it. You tried to break the habit yourself, but just life situations kind of, you turned back to the drugs because of, stuff you were trying to cope with.
Right. Like, and I think my biggest downfall were in my mind. I don't know. I guess it's just guilt. I don't know if you've ever lost a child, but I like I said, I would do good for a couple weeks or whatever, and I'll just start thinking about the loss of my baby. You know, she was 1 month, and I don't know if it's guilt. You know, because as a parent, you're supposed to be there. You feel like you are supposed to be the one to protect them, regardless. Right. And to know that, to have to bury my own baby, it hurts. And so the only thing that would help me numb it was going back to the drugs. Okay. And I guess this time, the difference between me trying to keep the habit by myself as opposed to the actual clinical, the outpatient help, is they're helping me to cope and to actually face, I'll just call it what it is, a demon. Okay. To face my, what haunts me. Okay. At night I close my eyes and I still remember the whole visual, and it just haunts you. And so instead of now, where in the past where I would just run to the drugs to help me numb it, to turn those feelings off, like now I'm learning I have the tools to actually deal with my problem. Okay. To deal with the hurt and the pain. All right. So that you feel like the techniques that you're learning in the treatment center is really helping you. Okay. That's good. Yeah. That's good. And I know I still have a long way to go, but I'm starting to. You put your baby to bed and you check on her and your baby is deceased because of sudden infant death syndrome. Okay. And yes, it was under my watch, it was under my care, but it wasn't like my neglect. And that's what I'm starting to learn. Like, I'm learning that it was not my fault. It was something that just randomly happened. Like, so as opposed to beating myself up and saying that you're not a good parent because you wasn't there. Like, they're teaching me that how to deal with it. Okay. So tell me more about the meetings. About the other people in the meetings. How's that working? Well, it helps because. We're in a group, and we all just we sit and talk with the counselor. And we just openly talk about our life problems and what has caused us to whatever our addiction may have been, or be. And it's just different ones. It helps me personally to hear that there's other people that. I'm not alone. There's other people who have problems in the world. There's other people who feel like they may be alone. There's other people who feel like, I can't deal with whatever that problem is and I need to suppress it, whether it's with drugs, whether it's being a shopaholic, or whatever addiction that person may be dealing with. Okay. It just helps you to hear that there's other people that has issues and, the addiction and yes, it's not the right way. We may not have handled it the right way, but it just helps to know that there's other people, in my group there's other people that has problems and they're dealing with it, Okay. So it helps you hearing other people. It just helps, hearing that other people are going through some other issues. It just helps. Exactly. Okay. All right. And I've never talked openly. I never talked to anyone about my problem.